presenter is Coach Tommy Browder. Coach Browder was head football coach at McNary Central from 1989 to 2008, winning 139 games during that span, which, by the way, makes Coach Browder the winningest football coach in school history. During his tenure at McNary Central, the Bobcats were region champions in 89 and 90, in 2001, and made it to the state playoffs. Listen to this: in 89, 90, 91, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 01, 02, 03, 04, 07, and 08. The Bobcats went undefeated in regular season in 1990 and 2001. Coach Browder began his coaching career at Adamsville in 1978 and also coached at Hardin County in Long Beach, and now coaches at the University School of Jackson. Coach Browder is considered by many to be one of the best offensive coaches in Tennessee, and we want to welcome him back to the Roundhouse, Coach Tommy Browder.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. I want to say what an honor it is to be asked to do this tonight. I know when Todd called me and asked me about this, he said, I know it's during football season, but if at all possible, and I said, Todd, I don't care what's going on, I'll be here, because Todd is one of those special guys. And I think he knows how much he means to me. Me being here tonight after getting thrashed last night, 41-7. So he's a very special guy to me. When I got here in 1989, one of the first guys that caught my eye was a skinny kid out on the field. He was a freshman. A little mischievous. Not really sure to keep him out of trouble sometimes. I don't know. He was a little mischievous. And then he hurt his knee. And I didn't know what I was going to do with him, but I knew he had a lot of potential. And I've always felt like I had kind of an eye for a kid that could play quarterback. And I knew right away he was my guy. And after he hurt his knee, I was a little concerned. But I made a decision over the summer. We was going with him. Sophomore or not, no experience. Didn't play at all his freshman year because he was injured. But I said, we're going with him. I think he's the guy. And then before school started, we had a transfer come in, a kid by the name of Corey Porter. If you remember him or not, he's probably one of the better athletes ever played in the school. And I said, Corey, what position you play? He said, Coach, I'm a quarterback. I said, oh, okay. So then I got to make a decision. I said, got this kid I think can play. Then I got this guy coming in here from Atlanta, Georgia, who's already had some experience. He's a quarterback. I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, I don't know why I did it. I thought about it a lot. But I decided I was going to go with Todd and play Corey somewhere else. Well, it turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made. Because Todd came to be the winningest quarterback in the history of the school. And he won 28 games in 3 seasons. Quarterback the first undefeated football team. Quarterback their first playoff win. And when I thought about things I could say about Todd, there was 3 things that I thought made him unique to any other quarterback I've ever coached. Number 1 thing he had over any other quarterback I ever coached was how cool he was. The absolute coolest quarterback I've ever seen. Because me, if you can remember, back in my younger days, I've calmed down over the years. I got a little rowdy sometimes. Got a little upset with the players. I had a tendency to call timeouts and storm the field. And yell and whatever. Now, I can remember one night, we wasn't playing up to my expectations. So I called timeout. I run out on the field and I'm ranting and raving and screaming. And I'm all tore up, flustered. And Todd comes up to me and said, Coach, just settle down. He says, I got this under control. It's all good. I mean, I've had some quarterbacks fall apart, but not Todd. Always stayed cool, and that's what made him a great player. Well, that was his number 1 attribute he had. Second was his versatility. Todd started 3 years. His first year, it was in a power-oriented offense. We run power football. We run it off tackle. We run trouts. We run up the middle. We run play action, throw the ball, that kind of thing. So he got that his first year. Then we become a triple option team. He had no trouble doing that. We run the triple option. He made all the reads, made all the pitches, made all the runs, became a running quarterback, throwing quarterback, did all that. That wasn't enough. A run and shoot quarterback. So he does that. So there's three kinds of quarterbacks. There's the power quarterbacks, there's the passing quarterbacks, there's the option quarterbacks. Todd was all three. So it made him very, very versatile. And then the most important thing of all was his ability to win. He was always a winner. He's won more games than anybody that's ever been here. And I dare say that record will probably not be broken. So I'm very, very proud of Todd and things he accomplished while he was here. One other thing that Todd and I have shared over the years and sort of give is we have a love of really good music. And we know what good music is, right? And we share the same type of music and always have. But Todd's a special guy, and it's a great honor for me to be here tonight and to present him with induction into the McNary Central Sports Hall of Fame.
Thank you for being here tonight. Before I get started, York, you mentioned something about a check that I was going to get tonight. Ricky, Fred, check?
Oh, it's in the mail.
Okay. I'm going to get that check. First off, I would like to thank the Hall of Fame committee, all of the teachers and coaches, past and present, of MCHS, because none of this would be possible without you guys. That is the absolute facts. I would like to thank my wife, Lisa, my two daughters, Maggie and Olivia. Y'all obviously are my rock, and y'all keep me on my toes daily, to say the least. I want to give probably the most important accolades to my mom and dad, Jackie and Judy Suggs. Y'all are pillars of the community, and y'all instilled a strong faith in God, and to show love and compassion and respect to your friends, your family, and whoever you encounter. And to me, that's the most important thing. Thank y'all. I would like to mention my brother Jeff Suggs. If you're fortunate enough to have an older sibling, which I did, there's a special bond with an older sibling when you are sports oriented, because at a young age you want to tag around and be around those people, and a lot of times you just get in their hair and they smack you around and say, "Mom, I don't want him coming with me to my friend's house," and all of that stuff. But with him letting me tag around with his older friends, that allowed me or forced me to play up as an individual in any sports we encountered. So in essence, it helps you hone your skills when you're a young athlete, when you're always playing up to with older individuals, because it was either put up or shut up, or you were not going to be invited back again. That's pretty much how that goes. So thank you, Jeff, for being a great big brother. I love you, man. Another very important facet of my growth as a young man is my church as a young man was Shawali Baptist Church. And anyone who has been a part of the Shawali Baptist family, you know what I'm talking about. It was there I became a Christian and learned a strong competitive spirit in sports. And still to this day, from what I can follow through Facebook and other avenues, Shawali is still shaping young kids into Christ followers and competitive athletes. So they haven't changed a bit, and that means a lot. The first organized sports that I played was Raymer-Dixie Youth Baseball. A lot of people here know about Raymer-Dixie Youth Baseball and all the good memories in that. Saw Mr. Maxwell Wade out there this evening. Just bringing back old memories with him. It was there men by the names of Jackie Suggs, David Lawson, Kendall Summers, Johnny Blakely, and John Mann taught us how to have fun, strive to win, but also accept defeat, because in life, it's definitely not all roses. There's ups and downs, and sports has a good way of humbling us, teaching us lessons about life. My first football pads were put on in the 7th grade at Raymer Elementary under the coaching of Mr. Randy Roden. It was there I received my first cussing on a football field, and also learned that you can run ladders and conditioning until you puke. So that had a big impact on me as a young man. Thanks, Coach Randy. A lot of great athletes have came from Raymer, as we all know, and I'm a little biased, obviously. As I journeyed into high school, my chance at quarterback actually came on a sort of on a freak accident to another player. There was a man by the name of Judd McLean who was in the running for quarterback, going to be a senior, and he blew out his knee in spring practice, and sort of put me in that position to maybe be up for the starting position. So I was like 140 pounds, skin and bones, scared to death. But as Coach already said, there was tons of talent. My sophomore year, it was the 1990 squad. And these seniors, they made my job pretty much easy. I didn't have to do much. They took up all the slack for an inexperienced, skinny kid. And those were names like David White, Chris Lawson, Mark York, Andy Cox, Ernest Hastings, Rodney Wyndham. These, let me tell you, they were men amongst boys, and there is no doubt about that. They were just playing with us half the time on the practice field. As a quarterback, you have a distinct relationship with one position on the field. And that would be the center. I was fortunate enough to have 3 different centers, and all of them were really good friends of mine through Raymer. They were Mark York, Stephen Gray, and my best friend in life, Jay Kirk. But always, this is to their wives, always remember that I knew your wife, that I knew your husband a little bit closer before you did. Our coach was Tommy Browder, who still to this day is a highly sought after coach in the high school football world. And once again, Coach, it means the world to have you here tonight. Coach Browder always had the uncanny ability to evaluate his roster year in and year out. Take a look at the talent, mold offensive and defensive schemes to accentuate the strengths and hide the weaknesses of what we had. And to me, looking back, that's just one of the many strong points he had, but that is talent right there. He was supported in staff by Jim Glover, Mike Jones, and Cecil Myers. There is no doubt that Coach Browder will go down as the most successful coach in McNary Central High School football. And the things that he did with our teams year in and year out, when you get older, you just look back, well, how were we that good? What did we do? Well, there's talent, there's raw talent, but you have to have a coach and coaches who can take that talent and put it in places and win football games by it. Because there's many coaches out there who have tons of talent that can't do anything with it. Some of the great players that I was able to play with are Mr. Billy Walker, Corey Porter, Jeff Burns, Jay Kirk, Keith Ellis, Randall Hanks, Breck O'Neill, Jason Morris, Chris Crabb, Brian Harris, Dustin Mitchell, Jonathan Miller. These are just some names as I was trying to write a little bit of a speech that were flooding my mind, and I know I'm going to forget tons, but just some of the names I've mentioned tonight had a big influence on the success that I had, because as a quarterback, you know, you always are sort of in the limelight, but it's always those guys around you that make you and your team what it is. When football season is over and we're through spring practice, I had the relief, if you will, of playing baseball under Coach Day. It was a little bit of a break from all getting beat up and banged and all that during football season, and it was always an honor. Those memories that we had in baseball were just as fun as football, and it's an honor, Coach Day, to be inducted with you tonight, and thank you for your sacrifice and work for us on the baseball field. It's an honor to be inducted tonight with the other inductees. You guys made your own special mark on McNary Central sports, and to be up here tonight, when I heard York called me and said I was getting inducted, and I was thrilled, excited, surprised. But when he told me that I was going to be inducted with him, to say that put the icing on the cake is an understatement. My family has known the York family for many, many years, and we hold a special bond together, and it truly makes this night that much more special to be up here with you tonight, Jeff. I love you, brother. It's an honor to be here. Thank you guys for having me and the other inductees here. And with that, I bid you a good night. Thank you.
Well, have you enjoyed your night? Well, this is a pretty special place for me, and I know you as well. And I guess what we can do moving forward is continue to support our children in getting their education, and the faculty here at McNary Central has been terrific since 1969 and continues to be an opportunity for us to go out in the community and make a difference. So I encourage you, I challenge you to leave the place and to be proud of what we've accomplished in the past, but look forward to the great things that are going to happen in the future. And so I'll leave you with this, because if you take an eagle, a lion, a rebel, a blue devil, and yes, even a cardinal, put them together, you know what you get. A bobcat. Good night.